As you can see, we got a lot of Oakley sports sunglasses lined up here. And today we're going to go through 9 of these models. I'm going to tell you what I like about them, what I don't like about them. And to make it easy for myself, make it easy for you, I'm going to just touch in on 2 things that I like and 1 thing that I don't really like. So let's start with the oldest one of these ones, or not the oldest ones, but the old of the new. This is the Oakley Radar. I remember 2008, 9, 10, then we were all transitioning into these from what used to be my favorites. They're fairly comfortable. I liked them overall back in the days. Now I feel like they're touching a bit too much on the nose. They're not super comfortable over here. Obviously, I've taken the rubber off, so they probably would have been more comfortable if I had them on. But the other thing that is that the lenses are so small. If you're sweating, it's not ideal. If it's raining, it's definitely not ideal. Let's jump to the next one, which is the Oakley Pro M Frame Pro. These used to be my favorites. These were the ones that made me fall in love with Oakley. And I don't think there's ever been an Oakley model that's been around for as long as this one has. They're not really for sale anymore, which sucks, but you can still find them on eBay. And these ones, there are a lot of good things to say about them. I have to give you more than 2. Love the minimalistic design. It's amazing. It's really cool, really nice. And these were made it's a long time ago. When I wear them, they're pretty like tight on my head. Feels like they will never fall off. But at the same time, I don't feel like it's pushing or pressuring on my head or anywhere in a way where it's uncomfortable. So that is very, very good. Also, we're going to talk more about lenses at the end of this review. But there is one thing that is much better about lenses for the M frame than for the other ones. Speaking of M frames, then we have the 1311, which we have made a review on already. Back when I was making that review, I felt like I was being very negative. I still don't know if I definitely would not choose these ones over the old M frame, but the thing that I have realized after I made a review is that, remember I was talking about the lenses, and I also saw someone commenting that the colors were pretty boring, and I do agree with that. And so I was very happy to find that I'm actually able to attach the lenses of the 1311 onto my M frames, which is pretty cool. And I like that much better. It's cooler color combination, and then it kind of felt a bit less spacey with the lenses too. So when I was traveling in Australia, New Zealand a couple of months back, I was wearing these a lot. It's important to emphasize that it does not go the other way around, so you cannot use old M frame lenses on the 1311 because they have added like a little bit of a design difference here that makes it impossible to put them on. Smart move, Oakley. Next one is the grandchild of the Radar, the Radar EV. So in between the Radar and the Radar EV, we had the Radar Lock. Radar Lock was very much like the Radar. The only difference was that they had a very different system for changing the lenses, which I don't think really worked out for them that well because it wasn't that hard to change the lenses anyways. How are we doing on the 2 things and 1 thing? Not sure if that's working out for me. The Radar EV, they have been one of my favorites for a long time. They've been my go-to. I really like them on the bike. They fit well with the helmet. That is sometimes something that I'm struggling with a lot of sunglasses, that when I'm wearing a helmet, it kind of touches everywhere, and I can't really find a comfortable position for my sunglasses, but with these ones that's never an issue. Compared to the Radar, they feel much better on. They feel like they're resting more on my face. I still feel like, I don't know, the lenses are a bit almost small, and I know that you can have the Path sunglasses that go down a little bit, but I still wish that there was more distance in between here. I think that's the thing. I remember back when Radar was a thing, then you could have Radar XL, and then you had more space between the nose pad here and the frame. So kind of wish they had that on the Radar EV. But yeah. Also, just quickly mention that these came out at the same time as the Jawbreaker, which is really not a model for me. It was just, I was wearing it a lot, but I did not feel like it was very comfortable. Also didn't love the design of it, but it brought with it they brought with them a new kind of lens or a new technology, which was the Prism. I will think we'll talk more about the Prism at the end of the review, just because we're going to go through more about the lenses, and there are some things to emphasize there. I should have talked about the Mumbo at the same time as I was talking about the M Frame, but they are actually very different. These are one of the oldest models that Oakley has. These are also from a limited edition. They came kind of the same time as the yellow M Frames. I really like these. They're much looser on than the M Frames, but very chill to wear. But it's also, if I'm wearing these for a very long time, something feels a bit uncomfortable back here because these are much shorter. Still has a rubber on it, so it's fine. So they're a bit looser, a bit shorter. I don't trust that they would be on me if I was out on water and doing a lot of water activities or quick, fast movements. That could just be a feeling, but that's at least how I feel. But super cool, super rare. Then we have the sunglasses that I've been wearing the most over the last 2 years, and that is the Oakley Sutro. Is it Lite or is it Lite? Lite? I don't know how you pronounce it. Anyways, these are the sweep ones, and then we have, let's just use this because they're transparent glass lenses, and I really like them. They are so comfortable on. I really like the design of them because they're a bit retro, vintage, even though they're one of their newer models. They're really, really good. And I also have started appreciating having bigger lenses just because when I'm sweating, it doesn't make it so hard to still wear them, even though I get some sweat on the lens. And also, very important to me is that I'm able to, whether that is running, because sometimes I'm wearing glasses when I'm running, even though when it's raining and I'm running, then I really like having lenses that are a bit bigger like this. And with these ones, I don't have to take them off if I'm on my bike or out running, even though it's raining a lot. And I really hate having to take my glasses off just because it's raining, because then I feel like I need them more than ever, but I still can't see through them. And that would be the case with a lot of the other models that we talked about. Next one, Kato. I don't know how you pronounce that one. But this is the most spaced out model that they have. It must be. I still don't know what I think about the design. There's something really cool about it, and then there are some parts where I'm like, this does not look nice. My girlfriend does not like them. Anyways, when I first got them, I was like, they're not that comfortable. They feel loose. I feel like they would fall off. And then I started wearing them a bit more when I was running, and I was like, oh, they're not too bad. I actually did my first marathon that I did in training with these on. So, not too bad. I mean, they go very far out on the side here. I don't really know why. I am curious about what the plan was for these. I don't know what they were thinking, but it seems like they're just trying to take it further and further. The really good thing about these though, and which is like, there are only 2 models here that have that, is that it's frameless on top. And especially if you're doing sports where you're down here, like whether that's speed skating or cycling, it's nice to be able to look like this with your eyes without having to look into the frame. I remember feeling that being a big issue when I was a speed skater. So Kato, good, very pricey. I don't know if they're worth the price. Then we have the light version, which is the Encoder. I remember when they came out, I thought they were pretty cool, pretty nice, comfortable to wear. The Kato is actually a bit more comfortable, but the funny part is that although these are much tighter, so it feels like they will sit no matter what. The funny part is that also feels like makes it a bit more uncomfortable. They haven't been able to do what they did with the M Frame, where it's super tight but super comfortable. These are not as comfortable. So I guess these are somewhere in between the M Frame and the Kato in terms of the fit. just that they're uncomfortable. And then lastly, of the models that we have today is the Hydra. Really struggling to pronounce some of these. I did mention these in a previous review, and these are amazing. I really like them because they're just so cool on the design. It really feels like a pair of sunglasses that I can wear on the beach and even in the city if I wear some cool clothes with it. And they're so comfortable. They're the only model that we're trying on today that doesn't have the rubber, but that doesn't really affect it at all. I think maybe after wearing them for hours, then I feel a little sore. But the nose piece is better than any of the other ones, just because it's a bit wider. So for me, it just goes more down on the sides and just feels much more comfortable. The only thing that I would say on these, and I guess that's been one of the things that I've thought about on several models here, is that when I'm sweating, it still comes down on the lenses, it stays there, and if I'm sweating a lot, I might not even be able to wear them. That was it for the sunglasses, but I think we need to touch in on the lenses. I did tell you that there's something big about lenses here, and that one thing being that early 2000s and before that had much better quality lenses than they do have now. So even though they're kind of expanding their technology, the production quality is going down. This is not a secret in any industry. I think that all industries are trying to find shortcuts to make it cool looking, good enough, but cheaper to produce. And so the lifetime warranty that Oakley used to offer kind of says something about their priority on quality. And I remember my dad having them, and I don't think he would ever have problems with the lenses. Nowadays, you might actually find that your lenses, it has happened on these, that they're starting to wear off. There's like a little layer that starts to peel off on the lenses. So whether you have the Sutro, Radar EV, Radar, whatever it is, the lenses will not be as high quality as those of the M Frame. And this is probably why I would say that if you like the model of M Frame, get yourself a pair on eBay. I'm sure it will never be actually too late, but I would definitely get some of those. And so if I was to give these sunglasses a podium, I would say that number 3 is the Hydra. Just because they feel so comfortable. I can wear them for a lot of things. Very versatile. Really, really good sunglasses. I keep repeating myself on that, but yeah, just so good. And then doesn't really matter if it's the sweep or the normal one, but the Sutro Lite. Those are definitely my favorites right now. I think there's a reason why I have way too many models of the same, or pairs of the same model. And then the winner, probably not with these lenses, more like something like this, the Oakley M Frame Pro. Definitely the best sunglasses that I've ever worn, just because, I mean, I used to love them when I was a kid. I never stopped loving them. I even have a tattoo there with those. That's crazy, isn't it? Anyways, love those sunglasses. They're very good, very comfortable. But if you were to get yourself some new sunglasses in a store today, go for the Sutro Lite. That would be my recommendation. Then again, these are just my preferences. I have no idea what you're thinking, and I really hope that you got something out of this. If you have any questions, which you probably do, go down in the comments, leave them there, and I'll try to answer the best I can. Thank you for joining me on this review, and I'll see you in the next one.